Hello everybody, it's Michelle with Michelle's Whimsy and Bling. I am here to show you kind of like a one-sheet wonder meets quick and easy, let's make some Christmas cards. So let's go ahead and get started. Try to make sure you guys are in frame. I have a new little setup and I'm not totally sure it's really working. Anyway, from one 12 by 12 piece of paper, and this is the Joy Christmas 12 by 12. I can show you some of the pieces, but I don't have a full pack of any of it. But it's double-sided, and I love that. So that's what we used, and these were the cards that I made from it. Very easy cutting, and ended up using the Joy to You stamp set. And hold on one second. Need to make sure of something. Use the Joy to You stamp set. These greetings are pretty big. I really like it. And on these cards, I also went ahead and used the deckled rectangle dies just to add a little bit more of interest. See, these are pretty. That's how use them with our cut and embossing machine. Today we're out the squares here, and I've already cut those up. I already have our white card bases cut. I even have the red piece over here. I seem to be out of this beautiful silver ribbon, but I have some red ribbon that we're going to use, and I thought I would show you really quick how I went ahead and I cut up the 12 by 12 piece. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to take our 12 by 12 piece of paper. And now, if your designer series paper or your pattern paper has like a print that is very directional, you'll need to be mindful of that, okay? This one doesn't, so I'm good. So on here, we're going to measure 5.5. I'm going to cut. And then we're just going to move this to the side, keeping it exactly like it came out. And the next cut is also going to be 5.5. Okay. Move that to the side. So all we have left is this little like 1.5 inch piece. And we will use the majority of it. Now, our designer series paper is not as thick as our cardstock, so you could go ahead and cut 2 pieces at a time. We're going to go ahead and see, this is where, if you had a directional piece, you would need to be mindful of how you cut it. This, I can't seem to get it lined up. Remember, measure twice, cut once. So now we're going to cut this at 4. We're going to do this 3 times because 3 times 4 is 12. And there are 6 cards right there. Now back to this 1.5 inch strip. We're going to cut it at 3.5. We're going to do that 3 times. And we're going to have a little piece left over. Now, when I had cut out my other green piece in preparation, these little pieces, you could use those on another card, you know, be a little creative there. All right, so that's how we do it. We don't need those pieces. I already have some other pieces. And once you cut these pieces, they go together really super quick. And we're going to go ahead and just get them all lined up. We'll do the gluing down. This is the back side of this particular designer series paper. And I was amazed the other week when I was just honestly playing around going, what can I do with this pack of paper? Because I did not purchase the stamp set or the dies that went with it. And I was like, okay, well, what can I do? I wasn't really feeling overly creative. And I was like, well, how about we just do this? And I have made a lot of these cards. So if you're on my Christmas card list, you might be getting it. This is why I use liquid glue, because sometimes I can't get it lined up and I need to fudge it in. And sometimes I really can't even get it fudged in. So I just have to take it all off. As long as you don't like squish it down and all that first, you usually can get it lined back up pretty good. So we got our tree up today. We have an artificial tree, and I grew up with a real tree. Of course, I the parkas and, oops, I might not be able to talk and glue at the same time. Parkas and snowmobile boots and all that down to the tree lot in town. It was always in the park. I can't remember. Was it that South? I think it's the South Park. There are two parks in my hometown. I think it's the South Park. I can never remember. I don't know if the other park really gets used much, but anyways, I digress. So we'd go down there and we'd buy our tree, and you know, Mom always got the Christmas decorations out, and Dad always had the fun job of putting the lights on the tree. And let me just tell you, my dad fussed about it. And yeah, that was always special, but I always got to help Dad with stringing the Christmas lights on the tree. Now, I did not know until today. I am really having a hard time gluing this and talking at the same time, y'all. No! Oh my gosh, did you almost see that? I almost dropped it. That would have been a little bit of a catastrophe, y'all. A little bit there. I've got some glue on my hands. Rub it off. Anyway, Dad would always start the lights at the top of the tree. That is how I've always done it. That's how I've tried to instill into my boys. That's how you do it. And I learned today from my bestie that no, if you start at the bottom, they are easier to get off, and that way you can always make sure that you have enough lights at the top, and you have the plug-in for whatever you put at the top of your tree. We usually use a star. And I was like, huh, and she's like, and on a real tree, it's so much easier to do it that way. And also not go, I need to check something really quick, not go around and around and around. It makes it easier for the lights to come off. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so now, see, that was like pretty quick and easy. I'm not going to do adhere this one down because of, I need to put the, I didn't mean to use that finger, y'all, sorry. We need to put the ribbon underneath there. So next up we're going to do is our stamping. And I already have my stamps adhered to my blocks, and I already have all of my pieces of paper. I was trying to really be prepared here. We're going to use Real Red, and we are going to do 2 of these. Now, sorry, I don't know what they're barking at. I say they're barking at leaves falling in Vermont. They bark at anything. All right, so there's that one. Let's clean our stamp. We're going to adhere. Ow, ow. Sorry, I ended up burning myself by lifting a lid from some turkey broth the other day. And needless to say, I have a nasty, nasty burn. Now this one, wishing you a very Merry Christmas, we only have one of those. But with this particular stamp set, you could make all of your greetings be the same if you wanted to. I've even thought of maybe using these greetings on the inside. And 3 of them are landscape, and 1 of them is vertical. The other night when I was making these, I was watching a Christmas movie. It was so much fun just watching a Christmas movie. I don't know if y'all have seen my video that I posted recently about embossing some Christmas cards. But I want to try using these sentiments in our Versamark and then embossing them. I think that would be really, really pretty. So we have all of our stamping done. We just need to continue to assemble. Let me try to get this cleaned up. I don't have a whole lot of space on my desk. Okay, next up, we are going to go ahead and do dimensionals on these. All of these get dimensionals, so we're going to do them all at the same time. And let's see. I don't know why, but dimensionals really like to stick to my fingers. Probably having the glue on there doesn't help either. See, if you do it in stages, you know, you do all the cutting, all the stamping, and then putting it all together, kind of like just goes fast, I think, instead of making one card start to finish, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if I'm not sure how a design is going to turn out, then I'll definitely do one card at a time, you know, just to make sure. Oops. And you know, if you don't have dimensionals, you don't even have to use dimensionals. I like them. You know, it's just like the deco rectangles. I thought that it would add a nice little bit of whimsy, bit of texture to it. So, but this is a great way to use up your designer series paper. So now we just need to go ahead and take all of our dimensionals off and put this on, and then we'll come back and we'll do our ribbon. See, quick and easy. You could have some girlfriends over and maybe have hot cocoa, maybe some Christmas cookies, have some Christmas music playing in the background, maybe even a Christmas movie, because you know, Hallmark is all about the Christmas movies right now. And y'all could just like bust out some easy and nice Christmas cards. And if you wanted to add bling, you know, you could certainly do that. I think our white festive pearls would look good. Or yes, not the white ones. The white pearls would look good. I think the festive pearls would also look good. Those have red and green and gold and silver in it. So depending on the paper that you use, you could really have fun with it. You could even probably get your kids involved in this. I bet they would love to take off these dimensionals for you. And they could help probably tie the ribbon. Oh, trying to get that off. All right. So now we need to go ahead and use our ribbon. And even though my layered piece is red, I'm still going to use red on this because the green This is actually, this green does spruce color, but this red does match. So this is real red. It's a 2-pack, and kind of love it. I need my glue dots. I am running super duper low on glue dots. Now on this one, we want to do our ribbon first. And you'll notice I did not make bows. I am, as you know me, I'm a struggler in the bow department. So I made knots. So what we're gonna do is take a pick tool to the rescue here, and we're gonna go ahead and put a glue dot right there so that we have something to have that knot go into. Ooh, why am I struggling here, y'all? Why? You know, that's what happens when you do a live video. You're like, okay, paper doesn't cooperate, ribbon doesn't cooperate. Your fingers are like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. That was a little too much ribbon, but that'll be okay. So we're gonna cut this off. And you know, don't throw these away, because you could use them underneath. Like if we had not planned on doing the ribbon, we could tuck the ribbon underneath there. Do a better job than I just did, but you get the point. Now, just to make it be a little bit more secure, I'm gonna attach one more glue dot right underneath the ribbon just so that it will stay secure. You don't have to do that. It just helps. All right, so then, and guess what? I did not do my dimensionals where I needed to. All right, what I meant to do was put a dimensional in each corner and leave my middle open, and I didn't. So we're gonna make it work. And that's not gonna work, y'all. So we're gonna add the dimensionals like the dimensionals should have been added. I was not thinking. Sometimes I cannot talk and do this at the same time. All right. Take these off. But I hope with all of my goofs that I hope you laugh, because that's all I can do. All I can do is just laugh at myself. All right, there we go. And then we're going to glue this down, and our first out of 7 cards will be done. And I'm hoping I do not run out of glue. Make sure it's opening the correct way, because that would be horrific if we did it the wrong way. I'm sure I have done that before. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and put a couple of glue dots. I am really low on my glue dots. Wow. All right, we're going to put our ribbon on the inside. We do not need it that long. Y'all, I hope I have enough red ribbon. We might have to go find other ribbon. Would that not just be funny? Not even having enough ribbon to get through, but we'll see if we do. Hopefully we do. By having that glue dot down there, kind of is an extra finger. Just to stick it on there. And hold it and give that a little trim. And give this a little trim. Uh-oh, we do not have enough ribbon, y'all. What are we gonna do? That is really not good because I do not have any more of this ribbon. Well then, I cannot use that green ribbon. So, if you could indulge me in just a moment when I get done with this one, I can go see what ribbon I do have in my stash. It will not take me long. I just need to go down the hall. I might have some more of that ribbon I used on the other cards that I showed you at the beginning. I don't know. I don't know. That one just needs a little. There's not much left. Okay, now let's see. Okay. See, these do not take long to do. I mean, in one night, just watching a couple movies, I was able to get, I probably used about 3 or 4 pieces of the paper out of this pack. And so I got a lot of cards made. Oh, y'all. Get down there. I wanted this one to come up a little bit more. I only need ribbon for 3 more cards. I am all thumbs, y'all. I've got some fat thumbs, and I am all thumbs when it comes to doing ribbon stuff. All right, now, let's see. Ooh, that looked pretty awful there. Oh, man. All right. All right. Let me pause for just a minute and go see if I have more ribbon. Okay. We're going to use some sheer ribbon. Same concept. Yes, I use baggies. I don't want to put a pin in this ribbon. I usually do that. I have pins from my quilting stash, and I usually put a pin in my ribbon so that it doesn't go all over the place. But with that sheer ribbon, I don't want to do that. I don't want to damage it. All right, so we're just putting our glue dots back here. I really am going to be out of these soon. And we can get going on our ribbon. Now, I don't know about you, but if you're using ribbon, you really need to have a dedicated pair of scissors. Not scissors that you've cut cardstock with, but a dedicated pair of scissors. Because you don't want to have to go and cut delicate ribbons such as this. I mean, it is a sheer ribbon, so it is delicate, and have a dull blade. You know, that's like in the quilter world where, you know, the husband's like, oh, let me just use my wife's fabric scissors. And then you go and you try to cut fabric and you're like, I can't do it because they're dull. See, that one is a little long. See? All right. Now, you don't have to use the ribbon this way, like I was saying earlier, you could just take these little pieces and you could stick them underneath there and create a faux ribbon thing. You know, that would end up saving a lot of ribbon. And if I did that, I would probably go ahead and add a little bit of bling just to add a little bit more to it. But that's how you could bypass using a lot of the ribbon. We are literally almost done. And this might have been cut a little too short. When I was making these the other night, I actually was measuring. I was making so many of them. I was like, okay, let's just measure it out. But as you can see, again, all thumbs, as you can see, it's very easy to do this. I mean, the cutting is very simple. The measurements are pretty straightforward. One more to do. One more to do. And before we end, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you the measurements that we used for the sentiment white pieces. I saw the craziest thing on Facebook today. Somebody did a reel and they were using their feet to tie a really, really huge bow. And I'm like, okay, that's just kind of interesting. So here are the cards that we made tonight. 3 of them in the sheer ribbon and 4 of them in the red ribbon. Now, let's see. This white card, or this white piece of paper, is 4 inches by 2.5. So 4 inches by 2.5. This is 3.5 by 2.25. This one is 3.25 by 1 3/4. And then this little one over here is 2 3/4 by 1.5. So there you have it. Easy Christmas cards that you can make with minimal supplies. You just need some cardstock, some designer series paper, some ribbon or bling, a stamp set of your choosing, and you're good to go. Envelopes, stamps, that kind of stuff. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know if you go ahead and you try this. And this particular layout can be used for any kind of designer series paper. I'm sure that we'll be doing more of it come the new year. So thank you for watching. Hope I made you laugh. And until next time, remember, be whimsy and add bling. Bye, y'all.